Nevada must put a stop to barbaric bear hunts. Sheila Leslie. This opinion column was submitted by RGJ columnist Sheila Leslie, who served in the Nevada legislature from 1998 to 2012. If ever there were a time to reevaluate the decision to allow trophy bear hunting in Nevada, it's this year. Our unprecedented wildfire season has decimated prime bear habitat, leaving dehydrated and thirsty bears homeless, no doubt traumatized by the extreme heat and smoke, and utterly confused by the loss of their territory. The photos of bears wandering the streets of South Lake Tahoe during mandatory evacuation, searching for food, water, and a safe place to sleep, was heartbreaking. Nevada's annual hunting of the bears has been controversial from the start. The Nevada Department of Wildlife authorized the hunt in 2011 purely for recreational purposes, not as a management tool to control the population. Hunters dismissed the objections from the wildlife conservationists as ignorant urban Nevadans not understanding or caring about the sacred ritual tradition of tramping through the mountains in search of animals to kill, or, as they say, wildlife to harvest. Hunting the bears for sport in Nevada is not popular outside of rural hunting enclaves, especially hunting with the aid of specially trained dogs, or hounds as hunters prefer to call them, which the majority of the states with bear hunts do not permit. Nevada allows hunters to use the GPS signal on a dog's collar to lead them to a cornered bear for an easy kill. Not much of a challenge for the hunter who scores his bear trophy, but an agonizing and horrible death for the bear. Exhausted after trying to evade the hounds on a long chase, many, including me, find this practice barbaric. But the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners and their supporters, most of whom are hunters themselves, dismiss the objections as trivial criticism from city dwellers who are far too sentimental about bears. After the massive wildfires this summer, the anti-hunt movement redoubled its efforts to protect the struggling bear population. In a letter to NDOW, wildlife advocates from 7 organizations pleaded with officials to at least cancel the hunt in the areas affected by Tamarack and Caldor wildfires and give the bears a break. Don Mold of the Nevada Wildlife Alliance said, "Our black bears are iconic animals. In a time of dire need, the fate of the individual bears is just as important as the fate of the population. Now it is not time to add additional harassment to what they've already suffered." There is plenty of authority in the statutes for NDOW Director Tammy Walsey to cancel the hunt, which began on September 15th, but he refused to do so, telling the Nevada Current, "The reality is that sometimes reducing the population numbers can improve habitat conditions and subsequently improve animal health, which results in increased survival. Advocates for the bears disagree." Ann Bryant from California's Bear League says the bears are confused, displaced, and completely out of energy, weakened, and already terrorized beyond comprehension. Catherine Bricker of No Bear Hunt Envy agrees. Given the habitat destruction and displacement of the bears experiencing due to the fires, to now chase them with packs of hounds to then be shot in a recreational hunt is cruel beyond measure. Have we no moral compass? Apparently not. But the hunters may be overplaying their hand this year, especially if photos surface of hunting dogs treeing an exhausted bear. NDOW's decision to put trophy hunters' interests over much larger numbers of Nevadans who enjoy the backcountry complete with wildlife may lead the 2023 legislature to outlaw bear hunts altogether. And while they're at it, perhaps they'll consider banning the brutal coyote hunts as well. This month, the Reno City Council approved a resolution with just one no vote to ask NDOW to end the controversial coyote hunts that awarded prizes in categories such as the most coyotes killed in a day. Mayor Hillary Sheevy said, "This is an animal cruelty issue, and I find it heinous. I want us to be a city where people understand we will not tolerate cruelty to animals." But no one can easily imagine NDOW officials tossing the city's resolution into the same bin as the pro-bear letter from the wildlife advocates. NDOW is supposed to protect, conserve, manage, and restore wildlife and its habitat for the aesthetic, scientific, educational, recreational, and economic benefits to citizens of Nevada. Allowing hound hunting of bears and the slaughter of coyotes for prize money serves only the recreational pursuits of blood sport hunters. The rest of us who want wildlife conserved for the enjoyment of the vast majority of Nevadans who abhor trophy hunting are wondering why NDOW doesn't protect our interests. Since NDOW won't end these abhorrent hunts, the legislature should do it instead. And they might as well abolish the Wildlife Commission too and refocus NDOW on conserving wildlife instead of providing bear hunters with a souvenir. RGJ columnist Sheila Leslie served on the Nevada legislature from 1998 to 2012.